it has been announced that the Light Tetra Dualies kit is going to be Sprinkler and Zipcaster. Now, Sprinkler... I don't think there's a single weapon in the game that's looking at Sprinkler like, ooh, Sprinkler, very exciting. It's definitely not what the Tetra players were looking for there. But it's not the worst thing. One of the nice things about Sprinkler is that it does block some shots. You put it at your feet, even if you're, behind it, beside it, or something, you're only like a roll away from being able to get behind it, use it for cover, maybe get a few extra shots in while you're dodging around or something. It also can kind of obscure you visually, so it's not the most useless thing. And one super nice thing about it is that it's going to enable you to paint passively, which is the only way this thing's going to get its special before it dies, because Tetras are a very aggressive weapon generally. Now, it's still probably the case that on this new weapon, you're going to want to play more around the special than you used to. The Dark Tetras are probably going to be more the option for the run-in and feed kind of play style. And the Light Tetras are actually going to have to pick their engagements a little bit more, because the Zipcaster is something that this weapon can use really well. It is definitely a candidate for one of the top Zipcaster users. Let's talk about why. First of all, in case you never knew, there's a mechanic with dualies where if you roll in midair, you fall significantly faster than you normally do. So here is normal falling. And here's what happens if I dodge roll. That was not the same. You can see how much faster that is, right? And one of the things that I talked about in the Squid Surge video is that being airborne is a very vulnerable state. It's not something that you generally want to be if you can help it, because it takes you away from the ground, which is what you can paint and swim in. And since swimming is your fastest movement option, besides like super jumping, then you just kind of always want to be grounded unless there's a really good reason not to be. So when you zipcast to something, generally especially if you're trying to like approach from the front or something, the game plan is usually not to try and like zip in a very visible way so that, the person on the wall already knows that you're aiming at them and can like get out of the way and start aiming at you. Typically, what a lot of weapons will want to do is zip to, like, the wall underneath someone and then use the zipcaster jump to get up over the top. But the thing is that jump can be risky because you're putting yourself up in the air. And sure, it's a little bit harder to hit you, but only at first. And as you start coming down, people will start to track you. But with a dualies dodge roll, all of a sudden you're just on the ground again immediately. So you can go up as high as you darn well want to, and you just come down really quickly, and you can do Tetris things. So that part of it is super nice. Another really nice aspect of having the Zipcaster is that you kind of just want to be flanking people anyway, so it'll help you get into positions that are much more annoying to deal with. Another aspect of it, there's a lot here, is that the Tetras have dodge rolls, and dodge rolls cost ink. So if, let's say, you get into a position that you don't want to be in with the Zipcaster, you can just spam dodge rolls, and you're not only, painting the ground, which is costing you ink, but you're also costing yourself ink with the dodge rolls. And so that's like double the ability to deprive yourself of your ink tank, which is sometimes something you want to do. A lot of Zipcaster users will deliberately put out a bunch of ink to hasten their jump back to their jump point so that they can get out of the situation that they zipcasted into. So that's one really nice piece of synergy. And one last one, as if there wasn't enough already, is that you have dodge rolls, meaning that when you return from your jump, when your Zipcaster is over and you're landing, if someone's camping that landing, you have a built-in drop roller, just like the Splatana Wiper's dash, so you can keep yourself safer from it. There's just so much synergy between this special and this main weapon while the skill floor is going to be massive for this, it's going to take a lot of getting used to, especially for people who have just been, you know, clicking in the right stick and just praying they don't die to the reef slider. Tetra Dualies players, you know, they're insane enough that they're going to get very good at this very fast, you know? If you're playing the Tetra Dualies in the first place, you're already signing up for a very technical weapon. I don't think that we're going to have to wait too long before we see someone doing absolutely insane things with this special. Which makes it a little bit sad that Sprinkler happens to be the sub that this got. I think that there are definitely a lot of other sub-weapons that it would prefer to have. Autobomb is, you know, relatively mediocre, but at least it let the Tetras kind of scope out where enemies are in the location that it's about to be pushing into. So it doesn't get surprised. It's the one doing the surprising. So that at least was nice. I think that the Zipcaster version will potentially have more of a niche in zones because it's going to have the Sprinkler that it can just throw out there to passively paint the zone while it does other things. So that might be worth. Generally, there are going to be two different playstyles, and I think that's a really good thing for the game, to have the two different kits not be like one be a better version or a more functional version, but that they both do different things and that you pick different ones depending on the situation. That's just a really good spot to be. Gives you a lot of strategic depth as a player without needing to work really hard to like completely relearn another main weapon or something like that. You don't have to get used to a new range, new roll distance, or anything like that to get a new kit. You've just got a different one, and it's a different one that works. And if you get used to the Zipcaster, there are going to be some crazy things you're able to do with that. I'm really looking forward to this thing. I don't know whether it's going to be used often compared to the other kit. It's going to take a lot of experimentation. Some Tetra players are saying that Light Tetras is better. Most I'm seeing are saying that the Dark Tetras is going to be the more common of the two, but that there's niche use cases for the Zipcaster one. We'll have to wait and see exactly how it plays out. But I'm just looking forward to seeing the clips, man. I'm just looking forward to seeing top Tetra Dualies players zipping and then rolling and then zipping and then rolling and just running absolute circles around the enemy team. That is going to be really fun to watch. Probably kind of annoying to try and shoot down, and I'm all here for it.